Do you want to get an extra 2 inches? Oliver just released a 15-inch planer, which is obviously 2 inches bigger than the DeWalt. I want to talk about this, but I can't really compare apples to oranges. What I want to talk about is the Helical Head, and I want to talk about why the Oliver is a right machine for my shop versus the DeWalt, and maybe why it's the right one for you. I don't know, but I'm going to point it out. The first thing I want to say here is you're going to notice that this looks a little different than yours or one that you've seen before because of this piece coming out of the top, right? So I got this as a gift from my wife, something around 15, 18 years ago, and it had straight knives. The thing about straight knives is that if you damage it, you have to replace the whole knife. So after many years of replacing knives, I decided to switch to a Helical Head because how great I heard they were. Well, after I put that in, one of the first things I noticed was that I could only turn the depth adjustment here about a quarter of a turn before I tripped the breaker. And after doing some research, I found out that the motor runs the Helical Head and the chip extractor. So it's a lot for it to do. It's got a lot more contact with wood. A straight knife hits, and then there's a pause until the next straight knife hit, pause, hit, pause. It's not a long pause, but it's enough for it to sort of catch up, which is different than the Helical Head, which is constantly in contact. It is always touching the wood. So you've got a lot more chips and this chip extractor trying to run both. So online, I found this from Jacob Elliott at Explosive Wood Shop. I think he's going out of business or he's gone out of business. And the idea here is that you put this over the Helical Head and it allows you to extract the chips this way, bypassing the chip extractor. You actually remove the old one, and I got to remove the dust collection out the back. So that meant I no longer had this chute coming out there dealing with it. So it improved the cuts. It improved the number of times that I tripped the breaker. It was not tripping them as much. Still tripped them. But not as much. And part of the problem with that, and the reason, is that this machine is not designed to run a Helical Head. It's designed to run straight knives. So that differs from the Oliver, which is designed around the Helical Head. Now, last year, I was very lucky. I went to IWF, the International Woodworkers Foundation something, and I got to see this in action before it came out. And one of the first questions I asked him, I said, it's wired for 220. Not all shops have 220. Are you going to set it up for 110? And the person I was talking to said, no, we're never going to do 110 because that limits the power of this machine. This is a 15-inch true Helical Head. It's got 4 rows of blades going all the way around. To do this at 110, you would not be able to run this machine and not trip breakers. Sort of like this one. So the idea here is that this machine is designed around the Helical Head. It's got a much better motor. It's got a 2.5 horsepower motor and 220 volt, which is not ideal for all shops. I happen to have it for my table saw, but it works really well for this. All right, let's talk about some of the other features that make this a better machine than the DeWalt to me. The first is that it comes with a display, a digital display. You can see it's got inches, millimeters. You can set it up however you want. It's also got a depth turret over here so that you can stop at specific depths. You can see the reflection underneath. It's got an anti-kickback so that if you're doing a cutting board, you don't have to worry about it, or an end grain cutting board, you don't have to worry about it flying out. One of the problems with putting that piece on the top was that I lost the ability to go over top of it with boards. That's something people pointed out to me. And with this, you still have rollers and everything else so that you can lift across and go and pass through. Now, on the back, something I think is really important is not only is the dust extractor out the side, you can also change which direction you have it in. So it doesn't have to be off to the right or off to the left. Okay? There are 4 thumb screws that allow you to take this off and switch it whichever direction you want. The other really nice thing is that if you take that off, you can actually fold up the outfeed, which you cannot do on the DeWalt. So it takes up space in the back no matter what. This takes up less space. All right, so now that that's all out of the way, let's talk about using it. I have this 14-inch wide, 3-inch thick piece of white oak that I've wanted to plane and clean up for a while, but obviously I didn't have a planer large enough. So let's listen. All right, that was the first pass, and I think you can hear how little trouble it had cleaning this up. There was no straining, there was no issues. I went through, it took roughly 5 minutes to clean up both sides. This is the last pass. And again, there's no struggle from this machine at all. It ate it right up, and that finish is like glass. It really leaves an amazing finish. Now, the second part of the video, I am going to do an unboxing. I want to show it to you. That first part there was a stand. It is a very heavy machine. It requires 2 people to move it. I thought maybe I'd be able to do it myself. Thankfully, they had someone there to help me load it up. And when I got home, my daughter's boyfriend was there, so I had him help me. There's a couple important things I want to show you here. First of all, just regular dolly went across the grass. The other nice thing is that this is 29 inches wide at its widest. So if you have a 30-inch door, you're going to be able to fit it through into the shop. Here are both boxes. The top one is the stand. Like I said, I'm not going to show you the putting together of the stand, but it is important and it really works well. This is where I got confused. I was trying to take the box off. It turns out it's just a cover for the machine, and once you take the straps off, you can lift it off the pallet, take the styrofoam off there, and then the 2 cardboard boxes are the dust chute and the outfeed table, so get those. Now, in order to remove the planer from the pallet, there are 2 bolts, one on opposite corner, that you have to remove. They're just going into the pallet. Once you get that, it's easy to take this off. I got the stand, which is a good thing. I'd already adjusted it so it was close in height to the table that I'm sitting on. Once I got that pallet out of the way, which obviously took a little bit, I was able to move it directly onto the stand, and this is where that old man strength comes in handy. I just moved it and lifted it up a little bit. It's not bad at an angle, but it's heavy and there's no good places to hold it. So the first part about this is that there are 4 bolts that fit down from the body through the stand, and you just need to put those on and ratchet them tight. The stand itself is really nice because of all the different holes. It's set up for different machines, and I think it fits on here really well, and it moves around cleanly, so I really like that. You might also want to put a shelf down underneath the bottom before you put the legs on when you put it together. I did that, and it gives me a couple extra spaces even down on the bottom. Now, going back to the boxes here, like I said, one of them is the infeed and outfeed tables, and it's got screws with it. And the other one is the dust chute and extra blades and screws for the dust chute. So it goes together really easily. I want to show you the setup for the infeed and outfeed tables. I did not record how to adjust them. If you have the DeWalt, it's the same type of table and the same type of adjustment to get it clear. That's my dog. Hello, Shadow. Oh, and with the handle on the side, the depth adjustment, it's really easy. It slides right on. There's a spring, a washer, and then the nut to just hold it down. So it's super easy to put it together. Now, like I talked about with the dust chute, you can go either to the right or to the left, whichever way you want. The directions state that it's better to go off to the left because that's where better dust collection is going to get. Now, one of the problems with the machine that I have, and this is on me, not anyone else, is that I only have a 1 horsepower dust collector set up. My 1.5 is in storage right now. I need the electrical power coming in, so it doesn't work as well. You need a bigger horsepower dust collector, but it does work with the 1 horsepower. Now, putting the infeed and outfeed table on, slightly different than the DeWalt, is that you have 2 screws. You do the bottom one, then you do the top one, and that top one holds it in place, and the bottom one keeps it from falling down more, but it allows you to fold it up. So yeah, I like this machine a lot. I'm very happy with it. I think it's a big upgrade, and for all of us who want a larger machine without taking up floor space, this is definitely the machine for you. If you like this video, subscribe, come back more often.